we're coming to you from Deelpan in the northwest, where the standing committee is here to speak to the residents of Deelpan to hear really and to assess what kind of intervention has been brought in this area up to so far. Remember that Deelpan was declared a disaster, a national disaster, earlier on in the year, in March to be precise. That was following the heavy rains that ravaged the area. We saw houses being flooded by water, and that continued for months and months this year. And so the oversight was happening today. The community was involved in the meeting, and so we want to understand from them how exactly they are feeling, because we understand that there's quite a lot of disappointment from the side of the community. Joining me now is the community leaders that I'm going to speak to. There's two gentlemen, and I'm going to start with the first one. Ndata Bas, thank you very much for joining us. Just tell us, as the community of Deelpan, how do you feel about any intervention that has been brought so far? Do you see anything tangible so far?
We have been through this since from last year, December, and then we have several visits of the officials since then, throughout till up until now, but there is nothing to be catched.
Is there a misunderstanding? The community is saying that they are hearing that millions of rands have been spent, but they see nothing. What exactly is upsetting the community on the ground?
The community gets upset because of there were departments that were around here with promises that are not done till today, and they've been here, public works, to try to help us. Till today, we have got pharaohs in our village that are now injuring our vehicles. There is nothing done till to this extent, but the millions have been used.
As a resident who lives here, just paint a picture for us, for some of the residents who may have missed this story throughout. What was the situation like? I know that people's houses were filled with water, furniture was destroyed. What was the situation like?
The current situation now, everything is like it has been before. We are still in disaster, but according to the officials, they declared disaster as closed.
Well, thank you very much, Vincent Bass. Just the other gentleman that I'm going to speak to, Sandile. So thank you very much. Just tell us, as the residents, what is it that you want to see? Why do you feel let down? Because I do know that as the community, you do feel let down by government.
No, it's true. We feel let down by our government. But now this has been happening for so long, and it makes sense. It makes sense that because we wanted a president in the first place, and I did impeach. And then there was incident from KZN, the president attended that matter. And then there was a matter now recently in the Free State, and the president attended the Free State. Yet Deelpan came first, but the president never attended Deelpan as we speak. So we would understand all the lies, all the empty promises that have been made, because if the president himself doesn't take us seriously, I don't think the other members will take us seriously, because it starts from the top. If there's corruption from the top, it will come down. It's a pandemic, and that's what really made us so angry or so frustrated in the Deelpan village. Because for instance, if you come from the Sunnysof, there's a board that says Maretsan. Yet you go through Deelpan, but there's no board that says Deelpan. You go through Deelpan, just before you get to Lombardslaagte, there's a board that says Lombardslaagte. So there's a board that says Maretsani, there's a one that says Lombardslaagte, but there's no board that says Deelpan village. Yet you go through Deelpan village. So it shows, it's so unfortunate.
It's so unfortunate. Thank you very much there. In the interest of time, we have to wrap up. Well, basically, the thoughts that you are hearing coming out now, the residents of Deelpan feeling like they are not being taken seriously. And during the meeting, they said that it seems like they are only taken seriously during election period. And so they were saying that they would love to see President Cyril Ramaphosa coming down here to assess for himself what the situation is on the ground.